Yep. Alright, yeah, we're just discussing the fact that, Carcass came out with a new album, right? I mean, is it their best or,
It's different.
It's different.
It's different. Matter of fact, give me a moment, keep on talking, and I can figure out what album it's called.
Yeah, figure out what album it's called, and in that moment, I'll keep talking. You don't have to tell me twice to do that, because this is me, this is my YouTube channel, and of course, I'm going to be a narrator, of course. Not like, what do you call it, the one from Fight Club, who you didn't figure out who it was till the end? It was all Tyler Durden, but, he was just called the narrator. Kind of like Michael Myers, he was called the Shape. But I don't think we're just going to call ourselves the conscience of,
That'll work.
That's my, well, actually been called the Devastator too. But, that's more of a Jeffrey Bender term. And yeah, I'm thinking of you too, bro. Go ahead and film your little gigs.
Their new one is called Surgical Steel.
Surgical Steel?
Yes. And matter of fact, if I can pull it up right, which...
Pull it up.
I'm trying to see if it will let me.
Well, we're going to see if it will let them.
It won't let me pull it up the cover. Wait a minute. Matter of fact, I might be able to. Aha! You can get a close-up on it.
That's called Surgical Steel?
Yes, and that's their cover.
And that's their cover. What is that, anyway?
It's all surgical
instruments. Okay. I see it. Yeah.
If anyone knows about Carcass back in the 80s, they actually had an album that looked like that.
Carcass back in the 80s?
It was, and I ain't got that album.
Well, I remember...
It's Rika Purification that it was.
Yeah, that's a very good song. It was more along the lines of death thrash metal, right?
This one is all types. It's death. They actually do a real slow song on this one.
Okay.
A real slow one.
Well, I like many of people out there in the YouTubers. Remember Swan Song? That's our favorite Carcass one.
That was one of the best ones.
Yeah, that's the one they're most... wasn't that in the top 200 too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Complete with the song, what was it? Keep on Rotting in the Free World.
Keep on Rotting in the Free World.
Well, this man knows about Carcass, and well, Carcass. Jeez. He'll even play a little slow.
That is Carcass.
Yeah, is it? So it sounds kind of slow.
Here, let me get up to the...
Well, like I told you the other day, we want to incorporate music somehow into our little video.
Well, you know how I'm going back into indie pro wrestling.
Yeah, indie pro wrestling. Tell us about that, buddy.
Okay, first of all, what do you want to know about it? Here, I can put a couple things.
Well, is wrestling fake?
Have you ever been hit by a chair?
Can't say I have. It looks painful.
When you first start, wrestling is choreographic. As you get into it more, the punches become harder, the slams are harder, everything becomes more realistic because just sitting there doing the fake stuff does not really count when you got like 10, 15 years experience.
Right. Well, okay, give it in that I just asked a Mark question that anybody that wants to know about wrestling would ask. They all wonder if it's real or fake. Well, yeah, it's scripted, but, they actually have an idea of what they're going to say when they go out there. They're aware of what kind of angles they're going to infuse.
Sometimes it always don't go out that way because there's times I was supposed to do an angle and I kind of didn't like it because at first I was going with it and then they took it a little bit too far, a little bit too personal, so I went out there and you know me, my character. I said a couple phrases, I said a couple lines, pissed people off, made me happy, and that's just the way it is.
So you're called Vertigo. Where'd you come up with that name?
We used to be Vertigo. What it was, when I first started, since I was the littlest guy, because I'm only 5'5", and at that time I was like a $140, $145, and I could be held up in a vertical suplex for over 3 minutes.
Yeah, say, dude, you probably gained a little weight, over some time too, haven't you?
I'm at 195.
195, well... At my tall, slender 208 pounds, I mean, I'm not a fat ass by any means. I'm just big.
Well, I was doing this one show, this underground show. It was probably back in 2005. I just got tired of my character, and I went out there, said a couple phrase lines, changed my whole character and everything. And as I came back, one of my, didn't turn out to be my female manager. She goes, Kurt, you know what? you're just one cold-hearted, and she goes, there's your name, Cold-Hearted Kurt
Cold-hearted.
Allen.
Kind of like Stone Cold, man. He got his name by a cup of coffee his wife was talking. So that story kind of sounds similar, but you know.
Well, it ain't similar. What it is I went out there and I spoke my piece, and the way I did it, I had no remorse what I said or anything.
No remorse.
No remorse. I didn't care. I was being ruthless. I was saying things
Ruthless.
mean. I was hateful, and when I came back,
A heel.
I don't know if I was a heel or what. I was supposed to be a heel, but people start liking what I was doing.
So you're an anti-hero.
I'm one of these types. You got my belt. I don't care if you're good or bad. I'm going to run through you and grab it. So I call myself neutral. So,
well, there was a trend back in the 90s where, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, well, they were starting to cheer and applaud, well, basically his middle finger and all, you know, his bucking authority type actions, you know, where that was all what we call it? It was popular back then, basically. So it was a trend, but that was also whenever they had the Jerry Springer types, the South Park's popular. I remember the Oddities. Remember those weirdos? Yeah. They came out with the ICP music. Yep. Wasn't that trendy?
That was kind of messed up. Good, but it only worked for so long.
Yeah, it didn't last long.
And, a couple of my phrases got called on, like I would get into the cruiserweight's face or the tag team, and after I got done saying my few hateful lines and stuff, I would say, now what?
Now what?
Or I would say, and that's all I got to say about that.
Like every good wrestler, you know, don't they put part of themselves, their personalities into their character, thus making it click and, you know, where the audience can identify with it, you know what I'm saying?
Well, what I did, if you notice, I'm one of these people that you can piss me off, but I'll hold it back. I won't say nothing. I won't show it. But when I do let go, I let go.
Let go?
That's the German in me. Well, now my character is, I can let it all out, and I don't give a damn. I don't care whose feelings I hurt. So, and what one of the people in wrestling said, they go, Kurt, you know what? I've seen wrestling. I've seen underground. I've seen indie wrestling. And you are the only cruiserweight person that goes in there. You're the size of Ray Ray, but you got the attitude of Stone Cold. And they go, that is so damn awesome. I said, well, I'm not trying to be neither one of them. I'm just being me.
Ray like Rey Mysterio?
Yeah. And I said, this is a side of me that I don't show that I can let out. So I can let my anger out. I can let, anything out. And I love it because it's actually anger management too.
Yeah, I bet. But what does it feel like to get hit by a chair since you brought it up a while ago? Does it hurt?
Oh, let's put it this way. I'm missing some teeth from it. It hurts like hell, especially when you're sweating. Oh, it hurts worse than a damn belt.
And does it give you a concussion too? I mean, it can it?
Yes.
If they swing
but
hard.
My first concussion, I can actually say, was from the first company I was with, MWF.
Yeah, I remember
that. was in Joplin.
Memorial Hall, yeah.
Yes. And I had this guy, you know him, Prometheus. 6'7", 270 pounds, and I asked him to choke slam me, and my head hit the mat, and I had a rainy ding from hell.
Oh man, a goozle? They call it a goozle.
Yeah.
A choke slam.
I got dizzy. I couldn't stand right. I was uncoordinated. I was all messed up. So you figure if he's 6'7", he puts his hand in the air, you're looking at about good 8.5, 9 feet. I was choke slam.
But in real life, he's probably a real nice guy, and he didn't really mean to hurt you, did he?
I asked him to do it, because I asked him, I want to know what it feels like to be chokeslammed by a big guy.
Oh, bad. Talk about a glutton for punishment there.
So, let's get off of wrestling, and let's go to some UFC.
UFC, like they call it mixed martial arts. I mean, yeah, it's UFC. I forgot what that even stands for.
Ultimate Fighting Champion.
Yeah, like Chuck Liddell, he was the Iceman. We might even be related. My family might even be related to Dan Severn, who looks
Dan the Beast Severn, who was in UFC, was also the NWA champion, and also had a storyline going against Frank Shamrock in WWF at that time. Yeah,
WWF. And, yeah, I also heard he wasn't a good worker either in sports entertainment.
Who's that?
Dan Severn. Owen Hart said he sucked as a wrestler, and like when Stone Cold was pile dribbling in that freak accident at SummerSlam, he did the same thing to Dan Severn, and it put him out of action for a little while.
Dan Severn was a good worker and everything. His thing was
he was stiff.
Retro wrestling. There's a difference. But he was also a grappler. If you notice, he wasn't really good at going against the ropes and stuff, but if he got hold of you, oh, God, watch out.
Okay, yeah, all right. More UFC fighters. Tito Ortiz.
He went to boxing.
Brock Lesnar.
Sucks.
Well, tell me that. Who powerbombed him and made him bloody?
I don't know who powerbombed him, but I can tell you one of his quickest matches. It was in 2010. Brock was the champion, and he went against, I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name, but it's Cain Velasquez, if I'm correct. And he's a Hispanic wrestler, and he's like 30, 40 pounds less than Brock. And the fight was even. And what's weird, when Brock picked Cain up to slam them, I think Cain had springs in his ass because as fast as he hit the mat, he was on his feet. Brock charged at him. Basically missed, went against the other side. Cain got on top of him, beat him to a fucking pulp, and Brock was so fucked up after they stopped the fight. When they were putting the belt on Cain, Brock was still in the damn corner on the ground, figuring out what the hell happened to him. The match lasted a minute and 30 seconds in the first round.
Wow. Well, okay, Brock, didn't he get disqualified one time for using the F5, the wrestling maneuver, in the octagon?
I heard that is true, but I still have to do checkup on it.
Yeah, so do I. Anyway, who else do you know?
Well, I know he made a mistake against Frank Mir.
Frank Mir?
Frank Mir.
Wasn't he the one in the movie, Stallone, all those action guys?
No. Frank Mir wasn't in it, but Frank Mir went against Brock Lesnar, put him in an ankle lock and made Brock yell like a little bitch, won the belt.
I like how you put that, yell like a little bitch.
I don't like Brock. When there's one match that after he won, I can't quote the words, but more or less he said, "I feel so great. I think I'm going to go home and fuck my wife."
Wow.
You don't say that, and his wife is standing next to him.
Well, Brock is a cocky sumbitch anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like, he was also the one, at SummerSlam this year, he tossed John Cena around like a jobber and basically walked away with the title.
I heard it. I wanted to see it. And even Cena said that he got his ass kicked, so, yeah.
And he also ended The Undertaker's streak after what Paul Heyman, he keeps on gloating about it every week. Well, he did for a while. But yeah, Paul Heyman, what's your thoughts on him?
The man is smart. He's business smart like a son of a gun. And he knows what he's talking about when it comes to wrestling.
Hell yeah, he is. He's the founder of ECW.
He knows when you should go for your submissions, when you should back off, roll out, when you need to take your breath. He knows when you need to go in for the kill. Although I hate him, I'll give him the most up respect.
You gotta
the
give him
man
ups.
knows what he's talking about.
He's a genius. You could say it like that. He's a pro wrestling genius. He started out at WCW in the early 90s. He founded a group. Well, it consists of Rick Rude, Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, who else? Well, Steve Austin. Before he became Stone Cold, he was stunning. And who else? It was another heel, Larry Zbyszko.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dangerous Alliance.
Oh, yeah, but I can go on to all of them like Larry Zbyszko. The man was a great wrestler.
Living legend.
He did not get the credit that he deserved, though. They did not let him climb up the ladder of success like he should have. There was a bunch of them that was like that. Tully Blanchard.
The Four Horsemen.
Yes, Tully Blanchard was great. Arn Anderson was great. In my opinion, I think Arn Anderson got robbed out of the heavyweight belt when he actually did go against Ric Flair.
So they were underrated, but yet, they were... they'll undeniably go to the Hall of Fame. But, they're just not going to be remembered because, basically they were underrated and not pushed as far as, like, the main eventers at the time, like the Hogans or the Flairs or the Stings.
Well, you want to get down to another one. Ron Garvey.
Who?
You never heard of Ron Garvey? Ron
Rod
Garvin?
Garvin. Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking
Okay, the Hands of Stone.
about. Yeah.
He only got one heavyweight belt. That was the only belt he ever held.
At the
Of the
NWA.
Yeah,
Chip Crockett Promotions.
yeah.
Go
Another
on.
person, oh, I was so sad to leave because he had a great career, and that was Magnum TA.
Magnum TA. Well, didn't he have a auto accident, or did he crash his bike?
No, he had a car accident, and it messed up his leg where he had to use a cane.
Well, yeah, it was cut short. I mean, that happens in, real life and in sports entertainment.
Now, going back to WWE, who I think is going to climb the ladder of success, and they need to do it soon, Roman Reigns.
Yes! Me and Brenda love that guy. I mean, he's so talented. I mean, the Shield alone were made up of 3 individuals that they made a hell of a group.
They did.
They did, but then they broke them up because Seth Rollins wanted to take upon himself to go solo and become a heel and break the group up. He was the architect, all that,
And in my opinion, I don't care what anyone says because you're not going to change my mind. Roman Reigns can take out Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. I mean, yeah, I will not disagree with you there. Roman Reigns, he has that Superman punch, and what else? He does that thing where he has them on the side of the rope, and he jumps up and kicks them.
Flying kick.
Yeah.
Yeah. The man is basically, there ain't no one he can't beat. There really isn't.
I kind of like Dean Ambrose. He's the lunatic fringe. He's got a good gimmick.
I like Dean Ambrose. They're just not giving him the matches that he needs.
Oh, I think he's the next Brian Pillman.
Really. You compared him to Brian Pillman.
Well, the late great Brian Pillman, but most of the good fighters in their time were crazy, and they made good gimmicks.
I didn't care for Brian Pillman.
I
I was glad when Stone Cold took that cane and played golf with his ankle.
I kind of like when he debuted in the WWE. He was at the King of the Ring '96, and he basically put down the Milwaukee crowd by mentioning Jeffrey Dahmer of all people, and he got some real heat that way. And well, Austin was a heel at that time, and they were kind of still reminiscing their friends. They were with the Hollywood Blondes, as you know, and they kind of they were together. And then he turned his back on him, and like you said, he hit him with his own cane and broke his ankle again after his car accident that year that got him ousted from WCW.
You don't stand in the ring with one of your friends and compare him to one of his arch enemies and start saying his arch enemy's catchphrase. You just don't do that.
Oh yeah, Bret Hart.
You don't do that.
He called it the best there is, the best there was. And, well, Austin didn't like that very well, so he stunnered his ass.
It's like Austin said, you take the letter S and you put it in front of Hitman, that's exactly the way.
Good one, brother. Okay, all right, well.
Let's go into TNA for a few minutes.